right, guys, I just want to thank you so much for coming in today. I know the roads are kind of a little iffy this morning. My name is Amanda Metcalfe, and I am a fifth-generation grocer. Currently, I'm the front-end manager at the Hilldale location, and what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about me and how I'm involved in the business, how I kind of got there, and then I'll talk about our company and our values, a little bit about the history of the company, and then we can talk about Bratfest, a little bit about how that became what it is today, and then I'll answer any questions that you guys have. So I think I started out in the company business a little bit before I was legally able to. I was about 6 years old, and I remember asking my dad, why don't we have everything on sale all the time? Wouldn't people buy more? I was constantly having those conversations with my dad before I was involved. But once I turned 14, I started working in the deli at Hilldale. My parents were divorced, and I lived with my mom in Waukesha, but on the weekends I came during the summer and worked in the deli. I'm working on my public speaking. It'll get better after a couple of minutes. So, but I started in 1999. I started working in the deli, and it was really interesting. I was helping people, and they'd be like, oh, we need meat from the slicer, and I'm like, oh, I'm too young to do that, so I'd have to go bug everyone else and be like, I need your help. But they loved having me around, and it was really fun to be part of the family business. So I worked there until I got to high school, and then they opened a store in Wauwatosa, and that was a lot closer to my home, so I would go to high school during the day and then work there weeknights and weekends in the Wauwatosa store. Again, I was in the deli. And then I went to college. I went to UW-Platteville, and originally I went there for engineering, and I found out, engineering is not for me. I really like math, I'm good at math, but my business classes and my psychology classes were so interesting. The people were really fun, and I was like, those are my coworkers. That's who I want to work with when I grow up. And so I became a psychology and a business major there. I was also a 4-year varsity soccer player, so lots of teamwork. My sister was there with me too, so it was like the two of us. She was really good at soccer, I was really good at school, and we helped each other with both. So I graduated from there, and I started working in Milwaukee, and I was working at an employee assistance program. So it was customer service, but with psychology, helping people find counselors, that kind of a thing, but also working with the companies. So I was like, do I like the business or psychology better? And I ended up finding that all I was talking about was food and and restaurants and recipes, and my favorite part of work was like the party planning, the catering, and I was really good at it. Everyone's like, wow, Amanda, you should do something with this. And I'm like, it's in my blood, I should do something with this. And so I was on vacation with my dad, and I was like, Dad, I really think I want to come back and pursue the business as a career. And he was like, come on board, we'll take you back. So I moved to Madison, and they put me in the cheese department, which really hooked me in because I was eating cheese, talking about cheese. It was awesome. And meeting cheesemakers too was really cool as I was going to make cheese with people. They were dropping off the cheese in the store, and I was talking to them. It was like this little underground society I became a part of, and it was really cool. It really sucked me in, and I decided, okay, this is what I want to do. And then I moved into the deli again, back home where I felt comfortable, and I started working with a woman who had been doing it for 20 years. She was our deli manager for 20 years, my first boss when I first started with the company. And she really mentored me, and we kind of expanded as a company when we bought the West Side store, and so she moved up into a position where she kind of oversaw the deli, bakery, cheese department, and I stepped into the role of deli manager, managing 50 people. It's the first time I ever managed anyone, so I was in a little bit over my head, and then to top it off, it was the month before Thanksgiving, so they really threw me in, and I hit the ground running and made it through the holidays, and everything after that was like, wow, this is pretty easy. I made it through the holidays. This isn't so bad. And so now I decided to go back to college to get my master's. I just started school last semester at Edgewood, and I'm getting my MBA. And then I'm doing a sustainability leadership certificate, which is, sustainable business models, what's good for everybody. And I thought that would really help with our company and what's important to us and the family and everything. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the company.
Can you keep your job while you're going to school?
Yeah, and the nice thing is actually I have class after this. I work 40 hours a week. I moved to the front end because it's a little less stressful. Deli was a lot of take-home stress, but with the front end, if I'm not running it, someone else is running it, and it's okay. So I moved to the front when I started school, and it's not been too hard or stressful on me. I just take one class about 4 hours a week, one night, and then there's the homework that comes with it. But I've been able to manage it so far, so we'll see. If not, they always said, you can pull back your hours, Amanda, school's important. And I'm really excited because I love learning, and I kind of felt like when I wasn't in school, I was like, I just want to learn more. So I'm so glad to be back, and it's going really, really well so far. I start my first class of this semester tonight, and it's strategic marketing, and I'm really excited. So there's a bunch of different things that are really important to the family business. One of those things is family, local, community. Oh, there was more. Oh, there it is. Being green, and then also, of course, our customers are very important to us. The family bit is, obviously, it's a family business. I am the 5th generation, and everyone's dabbled in the business, even if they haven't been an owner. It's pretty much everybody's first job. And that's really cool, but the really cool part about our company culture is there's lots of families within our family. And what I mean by that is the meat manager is married to the woman in the kitchen, and their kid works on the front end with me. There's so much of that in our store. In fact, last time we counted, which was last year, and I know it's grown since then, 52 different families with multiple people working within the company. And the also really cool thing is, I worked when I was 14, and then I went and did my own thing and came back, and the guy that taught me how to chop salad and make it perfect, still working there. There's a lot of longevity within the company. And in fact, they did a thing last year to see little statistics on it. 24% of our full-time employees that we have right now have been with us 10 years or more. And I think that really says a lot about our company, because retail, usually there's so much turnover. But to have so many people stay for such a long time, I thought was really cool. And in other places I've been, I haven't seen that. I was really surprised coming back in to see. I knew a bunch of people when I came back. So another thing that's really huge to us is local. We have 3,000 local products on our shelves currently. Just last year they did some stats and I pulled them up, 20 million local products just within our company. And it's huge to us because it helps support the community, it helps support local business. We've also helped a bunch of local companies get on the shelves and start their business in retail. And they come in and they talk with the customers, and so shopping there, you get to learn about where your food comes from. You talk with people who are making it, and that's just really cool. And I love meeting those people too, because they talk about their stories and their passion. It just kind of feeds off each other. And